It's time now for the award-winning #1 local talk show in Northeast Pennsylvania, The Sam Lesante Show. Now here's your host, Sam Lesante.
Well, folks, the mayor of Hazleton placed a gag order on the councilman in the city of Hazleton. And why isn't he attending the meetings anymore? What does he have to hide? What about the Eminent Domain property on Broad Street? How many thousands of dollars is that going to cost the city of Hazleton? Was it the right move? All the ordinances that are happening now in the city of Hazleton. What's going on in Hazleton? Hi, everyone. I'm Sam Lesante. Thanks for joining us. My guest today is the mayor of Hazleton, Joe Yannuzzi. Well, Mayor, we have a lot to talk about today, don't we?
Yes, we do. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure.
It's a pleasure to be here, and there is a lot to talk about.
I appreciate you, taking the time to come to the show.
Anytime.
There are a lot of concerns happening in the last couple of months. There, where there's the gag order. You've been called a dictator. You've been called, Hitler. You don't want people to speak at the meetings. You're limiting all this stuff. Give us what's really happening.
Let me first clarify that. They're not my rules. I didn't make those rules. The rules are of council. Council made those rules. I didn't make them. I don't dictate to them. So whatever rules they have, they made themselves. And what it was basically is not gagging them. It was a comment portion. You're allowed to comment about anything you want to, but they come up and start asking all kind of questions that could be asked throughout the week. The administration is there 5 days a week, 40 hours a week, 52 weeks a year. And council's there once, maybe twice a month for an hour in the evening. Why do they have to wait till then to ask a question? They can come into any one of our departments and ask a question any time of the week.
So are you saying, I know we had Jim Perry and Jack Mundy on the show just talking about that, and Jack had showed me the first ordinance or a resolution saying that they couldn't speak, okay, and that came from council, not from but he said you were behind it, okay?
No, he exaggerates, and it wasn't that they can't speak. They can speak, they just can't ask specific questions, especially of the administration, because it is a council meeting. Strictly for ordinances, resolutions, and council business. And that's where it should be directed, at council, not at the administration. They get up and start asking all kind of questions, and some of them are legit, some aren't. A lot of them even got answered. We don't hold back, but we wanted to keep it to comments for council, not to individuals. And they've been commenting about individuals.
So now, basically, he asked, Councilman Mundy asked you a question about a particular engineering bill, okay? Your response was, I don't know anything about it.
I didn't know because it was well over a year ago. I didn't have the answer right then. He researched it. He had the answer. It took him maybe a week to find this, and then he knew what the answer was. But he had plenty of opportunity to ask me. No, he had to go before the TV cameras and then ask me, knowing I would not have a quick response, and I wouldn't respond because I might be wrong. Let me find out first. And I told him, no, I don't know. That was the truth. And then when I researched it, I realized what it was, and I went to tell him, but it was too late. He already went out and said.
The other thing he had mentioned at the meeting, and he and I meet with him regularly. We have breakfast once in a while, and we discuss it. And Jack's a nice guy. I like Jack. But however, we're talking about city councilmen. The reason I'm very much concerned. Well, I've always been concerned, Joe, but. We're now a property owner in Hazleton. We have a business here in Hazleton. We're very proud of Hazleton. We're very proud to be here.
So am
I know that for years, and we're very proud of the people in this town. And I know we can't, I wish we had a magic wand sometimes to get rid of all problems. But he said to you, what about the $600,000, deficit we may have? Your question to him, well, of course, what I was told was that you said it was a secret. Okay, and his point was, why is this such a secret? What are we going to do to get this money? What are you doing as the mayor?
Well, the answer to that was, I told him, I'm working on it. When I have it down more firm, I will tell you. I never said it was a secret. He did. He said something, I didn't even get it, something about a secret squirrel or something. His remark was, I didn't say that, and now he's reversing it. What are we going to do?
It paints the picture, okay, when you listen to us on our news or if you read about it in a standard speaker, it paints the picture that that you are limiting, that you are the dictator, and whatever Joe Yannuzzi says, that's what it's going to be. I don't want to hear anything else. That's the picture that it's being portrayed as.
That's what they're trying to say.
Yes.
But what I'm trying to establish here is there's two sides of this government, legislative and administrative. You don't cross that line, and they are. And I'm telling them, no, you can't cross that line. You can't tell me what I have to do in the administration. You can make all the laws you want, and I'll follow them, but you can't come in and interfere with that. That's where I'm being strong. I was on the other side of the fence.
Yes, you were.
I did not interfere with Barletta or Quigley or whoever was the mayor at the time. I asked questions, I got answers, I suggested, but I did not come in and tell the directors of departments on what to do and what not to do.
My question to you prior to the show was this, and I'm not here to, pick on anybody, okay? I know people, you're my friend, Joe. There's no question about it. Right. Marcicano was my friend. Barletta is my friend, okay? And right away, you're just going to favor Yannuzzi anyway. No matter what he says, you're going to be with Yannuzzi. No, that's not the case at all, as you know that. But my question is that if I have a concern as a council person, all right, can I call you and say, Joe, I am upset about a number of things. Can I meet with you?
Absolutely.
Councilman Mundy seems to be upset about a lot of things recently. But has he called you and says, look, Mayor, I'm upset about this. I want to come and meet with you. I want to discuss this.
Never.
He's never called you and asked you for a meeting?
Never called and asked for a meeting. Never. Matter of fact, when we were doing the budget, we at that time had councilman-elect and councilman seated that we had asked. So there was like 6 or 7 of them. We asked them all to come, and every one of them came to a budget meeting in different times so we wouldn't have a sunshine law offense, except Jackie Monday, who said no. Then he went out on front of the cameras, and the budget's all wrong, and you don't know what you're doing, and Mary Ellen doesn't know what she's doing, she's incompetent, and this kind of stuff goes on all the meetings from January to now. For the last 6 months, all he's done is insult our staff.
What's his story with Keegan? He keeps on telling, he calls Keegan's name out. In fact, I mentioned to John on the interview and saying, Keegan's controlling you, Joe Yannuzzi. He's controlling Jim Perry. He's controlling everybody. God, this guy, is making an emperor.
Puppeteer master.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No, Keegan took his position. He is the head of the water authority, doing a great job with it. And Jackie Monday is mad. Ever since Dick Amon got removed and Jackie Monday lost control of the water authority, now Keegan's in control of the water authority, so he's his target.
Well, I would hope that wouldn't be the case. Okay, I would hope that we would have civility. Nothing wrong with debating, nothing wrong with questioning, nothing wrong with doing that. But when you start taking city council and you start turning it into a circus, I mentioned this on the interview that I did with the Water Authority, with Cahill and Keegan. Now, here again, I have to state a fact here. I questioned or received comments about what's happening in the Water Authority, okay, since John Keegan is the chairman. And I have to tell you, Mayor, I mean, everybody is extremely pleased with what's going on. They're very happy with John. It seems, now, I don't know what it was before, but I wanted to find out, what is this guy really going to run it politically, etc.? But I've been hearing only positive things. Now, maybe they're just telling me that. I don't know. Yeah,
they're positive, every one of them. He's making changes there. He went into the bylaws, which should be reviewed every year. He went there, and it hasn't been done since, matter of fact, the bylaw said that they had to meet on Wyoming Street. Well, they've been at Wyoming Street for 20 years, and that's what their bylaw said. They never changed them. So he's changing them. He's not pointing the finger at anybody. He's doing what is necessary to be done, and he's doing a great job, and it's bothering Jackie for some reason. I don't know. It might be Amon.
Folks, I'm talking to Mayor Joe Yannuzzi. One of the things that we're trying to do is trying to bring our city back. And as you all know, people who are watching out of the city of Hazleton, Hazleton is extremely important. The direction that this city takes really affects a lot of other municipalities, and we're concerned about what's happening, and we're not taking sides, but we have to start presenting what's going on and looking at facts. But why is the mayor not going to the meetings now, okay? And what's happening with this eminent domain? Did he really make the right move, okay? It's going to cost the city of Hazleton a lot of money. And do councilmen have that opportunity once again to voice, ask questions of the administration? Stay with us. Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks. Remember, 24/7, ssptv.com. My email is sam@ssptv.com. Folks, the mayor of Hazleton, Joe Yannuzzi, is my guest. In a memorandum, he's to Jim Perry, councilman president, from the mayor, June 29. Part of it says in this memorandum, it says, I have made this decision to protect my administrative staff from further public degrading remarks and preventing the creation of a hostile work environment. Likewise, I will not be attending Hazleton City Council meetings following the guidelines employed with similar legislative bodies. As executive of the City of Hazleton, I've instructed the city solicitor that he is not to attend the meetings. City Council will still have the administration's full cooperation prior to council meetings on any city-related matter to the extent provided by the law. Now, you have decided not to attend city council meetings anymore.
I've taken the right, which it is my right not to attend. So I've done that. The government is separated into two governments, the legislative and the executive, which is the administration, and the legislative have their meetings and are strictly for legislation and ordinance and resolutions, and they are to do that. In the past, we have given the courtesy of attending these meetings and sitting there, and if there's any questions from council, we're there to answer. What it's turned out to be, the public gets up and just badgers us. Jackie Monday, now with the screaming and hollering, has turned on the administration and insulted every one of us, and people go there, my staff, tense. What's he gonna do tonight? And I decided that since this is not our meeting, we do not have to attend. Once Mrs. Mope told me that I'm not allowed to talk unless she tells me to. So I said, well, if that's going to be it, what participation do I have in there? None. So we're out. So we're gonna come to meetings where it's very important that we have a very difficult ordinance to explain. We will be there. Our solicitor charges for those meetings, so it would be best that he's not there unless they need him. And every time they need him, it's for an opinion, and he will not give an opinion right there. He will go back and research it and give you an opinion. That will be an expense that they'll have to approve.
So I would think that then the public doesn't have a chance to discuss their concerns. If they want to talk, if they want to ask the mayor a question, you're not there for me to ask a question.
I'm in City Hall. I'm in City Hall every day, and so is my staff. And you can ask whatever question you want. The Sunshine Law allows you to get any report that's available, any memo that's available, anything you want, you can put it in writing and ask for it, and you will get it. You can come to our department heads, ask them a question, and they'll give you an answer.
My question prior to you before was, anytime if a councilman has a concern, in other words, if they had questions, can they call you and say, look, I want to meet with you prior to the city council meeting. I have concerns about the budget. I have concerns about a bill that wasn't paid. I have this, and therefore get the information so he can present it, or she can present it at the council meeting?
Yes, I get calls. I get calls from councilmen who have questions. They ask me a question, they get their answer. If they don't like the answer, they come back at me and tell me why they don't like that answer. And then we settle it. The only one that doesn't is Jackie Monday.
Well, there are a number of people who come to the city council meetings, okay? And, you know, of course, we cover them. Standing Speaker covers them, because we need to inform the public. Right. Now, here again, people want to come and make their opinions. You have certain people that come all the time, and get up and voice their concerns and voice their criticisms, voice their concerns, and this is fine. Has any of those people who've been coming to the meetings all the time, voicing all these criticisms, said, we have a plan here. We have a plan to resolve this problem, blah, 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 blah? No,
they haven't done that. I mean, they've come up, why don't you do this? Well, we can't do that, you know. That's really our answer. But, you know, they tell us things to do things that sometimes we can't do.
Let's talk about the eminent domain. Okay,
Sure.
there's a lot of controversy
Right.
on that, particularly now that the Greco family has filed, injunction or whatever
Right.
against the city. They said that you were told before that this was going to cost the city a lot of money, legal fees, and this could put us behind.
Right. First of all, this we expected. I mean, we were taking their property. They're not going to go down without arguing a point. We thought they were going to argue the price. They want to take the property back and do what they've done for the last 10 to 15 years is absolutely nothing. So what they should have done was sat down and negotiated, but they're not. They're trying to say that I'm taking it for the wrong reasons, and that's
Why
their
are you
argument.
taking it?
I'm taking it because I think that the garage there would be a great asset for economic development to help develop this building that's next door to yours. It's very difficult to get tenants in that building because there is no parking, and that's the reason. Right across the street would be a perfect spot for that. There's more development going on downtown that's going to happen and be announced soon, and that's why we need that garage there, and that's why I took that property. Now that's an investment in downtown Hazleton of $4,800,000 that the Grecos are not going to put in that property. Which one would you think would work out better? Their $40,000 offer with those two trailers, or a garage that can park as many cars as you possibly want?
But the people would question is, so if you decided you want to do something with my building,
Right.
because someone wants to come in and they want to, build a whatever, and it's going to bring $4 million, $8 million, so there goes Samson Productions down the tubes because we want that building.
Right. No, what happened was, if you know the property, and you do, you live here, you work here, that building's been that position for over 7 years. It's been deteriorating slowly and slowly. We made the decision, and I did, when I first was taking office as an appointed mayor, I went over there and said that property's got to go. They started to rip it down, not they, the salvage company ripped it down for the salvage, and that's how it came down, and we fought that all the way because of the violations, one after another. And this was why this is such a sore eye to downtown, and has actually stopped development in downtown. So we decided to take it. Now it's down on the ground, it's a piece of property, and they're making it like they're going to develop it. They haven't even, they didn't repair and maintain a building that was worth money. They actually let it deteriorate till it was worth nothing, and now they're going to tell the public that they're going to develop that piece of land. I'm going to develop, I have the money, I have the project, just let me do it.
Folks, I'm talking to Mayor Joe Yannuzzi. A lot of ordinances are going to be established in Hazleton. What about the blight situation? I want to find out what's going on with the blight situation. There are committees. Are these committees being used? What's happening? Are we seeing improvements? Be back right after this. Thank you for staying with us, folks. I'm Sam Lesante, and once again, folks, I want to thank all of you for making our Local News 13 the #1 local news in this area. Over 80,000 people watch Local News 13 every weekday, Monday through Friday. It's special thanks to our media partners, the Standard Speaker, where you get all our schedules. And also, last month, 1.5 million impressions on our website. Breaking news all the time. Mona V, folks, I use it every day. Dan Vasala has it for you. Give him a call, 2 shots every day. Man, it makes you feel fantastic. And, of course, the official water of Samson Productions and SSP TV, Tonic and Mountain Spring Water. JoJo sells it on the Beltway. For those of you who want, when you buy your water, if you're buying spring water, ask for Tonic and Mountain Spring Water. My guest, Mayor Yannuzzi. Mayor, we're talking about the blight situation. Recently, we've seen an explosion of your code enforcers going down, but you have blight committees. Okay, are we using and activating the blight committees that you have?
The committee's not yet. No, I haven't used them yet. I was
What's
trying
the
to get the quality of life ordinance in place so we could start going out and have people correct it down. Now we're going to go into the Blight Committee, which was going around and going to evaluate properties and decide whether they should be considered blight or not.
So in other words, there's a process here, okay?
Right.
Now, I guess from what I'm seeing, okay, and hearing, that this quality of life is really starting to take hold.
Yes. Yes. I read about the quality of life, and our procedure prior to this was if you had high weeds, we would notify you that you have 10 days to cut them. And then in 10 days, we would cite you for not cutting them, and then in 10 days later, we would take you to court. This here is just like a parking ticket. We see your high weeds, you get fined $25. Don't have them. Take care of them. Don't wait for us to give you a warning. There is no more warning. There's going to be tickets. And anything that's visual, I walk by, I see garbage, I see upholstered furniture on your porch or something like that, we're going to cite you. And we're going to give you a ticket right then and there.
Has it been working?
It's in a week, and it's been working.
I know you're getting a lot of complaints, a lot of calls. People are upset. You know, how come you
Yeah.
ticketed me? How come you did this? Okay, and that happens. Let me touch on some new ordinances that the chief is bringing. Could you bring? What are some of the highlights? What are some of the key ones? I know there's a number of them,
There's a number of them. One of them is a good one because it's the playgrounds. We have no rules for the playgrounds. We have no ordinance where it says you can't be in there after certain hours. So if he goes there and sees people in there, he can chase them out. And basically, he can't, but he could ask what they're doing there, and maybe they'll leave. But right now, he can't do anything, so he wants to be able to go in at sundown and say, you don't belong in here, that's a violation of the law, blah, 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 and he can further look at more and more violations once you start
when he was
that.
on the show,
Yes.
Joe, he explained that, and I want to tell you, not one person that I met did not agree with him on that, with the playgrounds and the curfews,
Yes,
etc.
yes.
Joe, something happened to us yesterday, my wife and I, which I found quite interesting. We're doing some shopping, and a lady was there, and we get this all the time. People come up as, you see. But anyway, this one lady said, she said, Debbie, she complimented her on the show, the girls, and she was very happy about that. And she said, I want to thank you and your station and your husband for making us feel good in this town again. You're making us feel good that we have a lot to offer. She has a business, and she said it's so sad that people are always down. They're down on the Hazleton, and I know we don't have the best, okay, but the point is. We're very proud to be here, and I think you've said this before. We could become our own worst. If we could come up with solutions, the political stuff, put it aside. Don't have if I didn't win, okay, why? Listen, I may not like the President of the United States. He's coming up for November. If I don't like him, I won't vote for him, okay?
Absolutely.
But he's there for 4 years.
Absolutely.
I mean, so your thoughts on that?
He deserves the respect, and Hazleton deserves the respect too. We're trying to come around. We have faults, and to keep pounding the faults instead of the good side of it, it's easy to pick a fault and hammer somebody on it. It's hard to say this is a nice area, and then they start bringing in the faults, and then they drag you down again. And like I said, the public out there, not the majority, but the loudmouths are always in the negative, and that's all you ever hear is
But did
negative.
they come up with any positive solutions?
No.
See, that's
Crime's
the
the
thing.
problem, that's it,
Yeah, well,
get more police, okay, you have to pay for it. No, I don't want to pay for it.
Well, it's a challenge that I think that frustrates a lot of people, but I think we have to be positive. I appreciate you coming on the show, Joe. I know they have a lot going for you. So I would only hope that the councilman would contact you before these meetings.
Yeah.
The public would call in questions. Maybe you can't get to them immediately, but at least respond. You're there 40 hours a week. You are the chief administrator, so maybe we could get some things resolved.
Well, you can't imagine how many complaints we do get, how many compliments we get. People come in our office, they're either complaining about something, telling us what a good job we did with certain items, but they do come in with complaints and we take them, but you never hear that, you never see that because the press isn't in my office. But when you go into council, all you hear is the complaints from that certain group.
We could put a camera in there, We could put a camera in your office.
That's true.
but
I wouldn't want that.
Mayor, thank you so much for coming on the show. Folks, we welcome your comments. It's a great city. All I could say is that let's come up with constructive comments. That doesn't mean that you can't complain. Doesn't mean that you can't ask questions, but come up with some constructive comments. And we're very proud to be here. We have a lot of people come in from town. As you know, I interviewed a lot of doctors from the Greater Hazleton Health Alliance, and most of them, 99% will tell you they came here because of the quality of life. Isn't that a tribute to all of us here in the Greater Hazleton area, as well as Schuylkill County, Luzerne County, and Carbon County? Thanks for making us #1. We appreciate that very much. Sam at ssptv.com if you need to ask me any questions. We'll see you next time.